So I've been asked to do a video on direct percussion, and so I'm gonna hit on some points that I think are important some stuff that has helped me. Keep in mind, I've only been doing this direct percussion for, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 months or so. So I'm still learning a lot myself, but I can talk about a few things that maybe will help you out. So the first thing, sit down here without a pen. There's one. Oh, did I step on your tail? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. So the first thing I want to talk about is your tools. So if you don't know, direct percussion is striking the workpiece directly with a percussor. Whether it be a solid copper bopper or a lead-filled copper bopper or billet or an antler or a hammerstone or whatever you're using, if you're striking it and taking the flake with the tool that you're swinging, then that's direct percussion. As opposed to indirect percussion, which would be putting some kind of tool in between there. So you're indirectly striking the piece with, you're going to have a striker, and this will be your indirect percussor. So this is a punch, but any kind of punch or I guess mostly what you use indirect with is punches. But yeah, so that's the difference. Most of you probably already knew that. I'm sure some couple don't. So I would recommend buying some good tools. You know, you can make the lead-filled copper boppers you can go to a hardware store and get the caps, but it's kind of hard to find the larger sizes. And you know, this thing, I made this when I first started napping, and I beat it all to heck. So it's, you know, the handle's too big and too long and stuff. But okay, I'll get to that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So get you some good tools. You know, you can make your own if you want to save a little money, or you're real crafty, and you know, some guys do real good with their tools they make. And I've got plenty of stuff I've made, but when it comes to like pressure flakers, and like when I bought my first Ishi stick for pressure flaking, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't get one of those sooner. You know, it's got this flex, and you know, it just took flakes so much better than the stuff I was trying to use. So FlintKnappingTools.com, I think, has lead-filled copper billets. Justin Hawkins on Facebook, he has them sometimes. I don't have a good set to show you. I'm getting ready to actually buy a set myself, but I've been using the solid copper. And with the solid ones, it's a little bit different swing. You're using the face of the billet a little more so than with the lead filled. You're kind of working off the shoulder here. So there's a little bit different, you're taking the flake in a little bit different way. You're swinging kind of straight in. With these solid ones, you know, you're taking, it's almost more of like a shearing flake than a peeling flake, if that makes sense. So the forces are going more so straight in, and with the copper, you're kind of grabbing the edge and peeling the flake off. maybe a little bit more similar to antler with the lead-filled copper. A good one to watch with the lead-filled, a couple good people to watch with lead-filled boppers working doing percussion. Good YouTube channels to watch is Bow Hunter. It's just spelled Bohunter. And then Gulf Coast Knapping, Jake Anderson. He's real good to watch. Jeff Gatewood uses lead-filled boppers, and he's really, really good. And just watch as many different people as you can, and you know, everybody uses a little bit different techniques and holds and swings, and so just, you know, watch as much instruction as you can on YouTube. So you're going to want to start small and scale up. At least that's the way I did it, and it seemed to work okay. There's plenty of room for progress in my direct percussion, but you know, I'm guessing most people's probably got a bunch of stuff sitting around like this, you know, broken bifaces, and the smaller stuff, you can work on it, and if you break it, it's not the end of the world. You just grab another one. But all the principles are the same. All, you know, everything's the same. The fracture mechanics and all that. It's just scaled down. And once you get good with the smaller stuff, you can work your way up to the larger stuff. And you're not wasting a bunch of money that way. Sit and look through that all day. So starting small and scaling up, try to become familiar with the edges that you're hitting. You know, if you take a good flake and you're like, oh wow, that was a nice flake, you know, catch it and take it and put it back on there and see what you did. You know, it's important to pay real close attention to this stuff, especially when on a smaller scale. But I was really super surprised at how effective using a real small copper bopper was on this small stuff. You know, I thought, there's no way I'll be able to make a preform out of that. But I tried it, and I did. So the platforms are going to be similar to what you would use with indirect percussion, but when you're starting out, I would recommend kind of try to stick to the, you know, once you get it kind of in shape, or well, period, I guess, just try to stick to the below center line rule. When you're first starting out, it might help you out. You know, just try to create opportunities for yourself. You know, try to prepare isolated platforms when you can. You can you can do that with just a coarse abrader is what I rely on mostly. Some Cortex left on there. I don't know if that'll go or not. I do use my abrader to adjust my edges quite a bit. And I feel like it saves me time. It can eat a lot of material up if you're not careful. You can lose a lot of length or a lot of width really fast using one of these. But once you start getting the hang of it, you can really do some damage in a good way. So I talked about who to watch, adjusting your edge. You know, it helps put the odds in your favor. You've got so much working against you. If you can hit bad edges all day long, and you're not gonna get any better. And that goes with every tool in flint knapping. I found that you have to do a little bit of prep work. And sometimes that's not real fun. It's kind of like painting, you know. I hate the prep work. Painting part's fun. But if you want a good result in the end, you got to do some prep work. Depending on relying on paying attention to the feedback of your tool is very important with percussion. When I'm taking these small flakes, I'm not really supporting this thing right now. I'm just kind of goofing around, but I'm listening to the sound that's making, and I'm feeling how how it feels when I hit it, and if I'm feeling the edge give away, if flakes are coming off, or if you can brush it with short strokes like this and nothing comes off, usually that means you got a decent platform, which that one isn't. But move over to the side a little bit and get one. So paying attention to the feedback of your tool is super important. It's kind of like using a hammerstone, a soft hammerstone. You're paying attention to that feedback from the tool. And the sounds that it's making and stuff too. Okay, support. Let's talk about support. So you see some guys swinging and hitting kind of loosely, and then you see some people that are supporting it really well and taking really, really good flakes. And I learned right away that as soon as I tried supporting the pieces and started listening to Marty using that back edge support, it just changed the game for me. So with this percussion, these smaller pieces, it's going to be a little bit harder to do, but it's not impossible, and you should definitely practice it. If you've got a preform and it's starting to get thin, you want to support it from the ends in this way. And if you get a long flake you're wanting to take, say you're wanting to get through some kind of obstruction, or you got a bump that you're wanting to remove, you can put the piece in your hand and kind of, when you hit the piece, concentrate on trying to drive that piece into the back of your hand when you hit it, and it'll take a lot longer flake. It's so crazy because a good experiment to do is with the under the leg. You can take a flake, get you a nice beveled edge with a consistent thickness, and take a flake just holding it like you normally would out here, and then bring your leg over and push the workpiece into the back of your hand and get it up tight, and then take another flake and watch what it does. I mean, it'll go like 2 or 3 times farther than the one you just took holding it out here. So I'm a big fan, if you can't tell, of back edge support and just supporting the piece in general. Especially when I first started using these things, it was helpful for me to work right kind of in here. My hand's usually still floating. I don't normally put it down there. I guess you could, but it's kind of hard to get the follow through when I get down close to the mat. You want to concentrate on driving straight through the workpiece. And it's just going to take some time. Just pay attention to what you're doing and the edges that you're hitting and how steep you need to be, and you'll get better, and it'll be fun instead of a headache. So, is there anything else I can talk about? Feedback, support, solid versus lead filled. A few of the people I watch. Yeah, I guess I guess that's about it. Yeah, just start small, scale up. Try to become familiar with the edges and platforms that you need to hit and the contours, and kind of try to stick to the below center line rule. You know, if your platforms are crushing, then you need to do a little bit more braiding probably. And watch lots and lots of videos. And maybe I've been doing a lot of pressure work in my last quite a few videos, because I've been working these preforms that I'm getting that are pretty much close to finished. So I just been doing mainly pressure flaking and lots of it. But I will get back into some percussion. I'm waiting on a box of rocks, or a couple boxes that I've been waiting on for. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, hopefully that helped, and I'll catch you on the next one. What are you doing, Noodle?